Hi, my name is Lucas Prosapio. Welcome to my informative speech for Communications 100 with Professor Rowell on how to own a gun responsibly. In America, guns are a highly celebrated thing. From action movies, from the very base concept of the Second Amendment, which is fiercely defended by American people and politicians alike, to action movies in which a hero with a gun goes in and saves the day. Um, we like to celebrate the concept of guns quite a bit. Um, well, while we're not likely to ever be in a situation where we need to go save the day, there are many reasons someone might want to own a gun, whether that's hunting, self-defense, or simple leisure. Either way, there are ways to own a gun responsibly, and through this speech, I will be teaching you how. This screenshot right here is actually a picture of a Facebook event hosted during Hurricane Irma, in which people jokingly encouraged all gun owners along the coast to go out and fire their weapons at Hurricane Irma. While this was thought of to be a funny joke, not everybody thought it to be the joke that it was. And unfortunately, people actually went out and fired their weapons at Hurricane Irma. This resulted in, we'll come back to these rules for gun safety in one moment, but this resulted in bullets getting caught up by the hurricane, flying around in the storm, and ending up finding a target, unfortunately. Through the process of Hurricane Irma, multiple people died by stray bullets hitting them. There were, if you do a quick web search for killed by stray bullet, you'll actually find these deaths, as well as many from 4th of July or any other time where gun owners thought it would be fun to go out and fire their weapons into the air, and that bullet unfortunately found a target. The NRA recognizes 5 basic rules of gun safety. The first is to always treat a gun like it's loaded. The second is to always know your target and what's behind it. The third is to never point a gun at something you're not willing to destroy. The fourth is to wear proper eye and ear protection. And the fifth is to always keep your finger off of the trigger until you are ready to fire. That one is something that's even broken in action movies. A lot of times the heroes will walk around with their finger right on the trigger. And that is actually very dangerous, as if the hero trips, if they literally just have a muscle spasm, that gun could go off and hurt someone they don't intend it to hurt. Also in this image is Travis Maldonado, a young man who you may recognize from the Tiger King Netflix special. Travis was unfortunately killed in an accident as a result of accidental gun discharge. Travis had an AR-15 that he believed it was safe to hold up to his head because he did not have a clip inside of that gun. He believed it to be unloaded. Had Travis remembered to treat the gun like it's loaded, to never point the gun at something you're willing to destroy, or you're not willing to destroy, and another rule of gun safety, which there are many rules that are not included in the basic 5 that you can find on the NRA's website, but one of them is to know your firearm and how it operates. He would have known that an AR-15 is actually not stopped from firing if there's nothing in the if there is no clip loaded into the gun, as long as there's a bullet in the chamber. And he did not check, and unfortunately, Travis is no longer with us because of this. Just following these basic rules of gun safety will already get you a long way toward uh, safe and responsible gun ownership. Including, even when you're cleaning the gun, the NRA encourages to always treat it like it's loaded, to never keep the bullets anywhere nearby while you're cleaning the firearm, and to maintain all of these all the time, because you never know when a gun may accidentally discharge or something may go wrong with the weapon. And so you should always be very careful. Only operate the gun responsibly and when you are in full control of yourself. Wear eye and ear protection at all times. The NRA encourages this because guns are very loud and they can hurt your hearing if they're going off if you don't have proper ear protection. And also, hot brass tends to come out of that, or the shell from the firearm will come out of the gun each time you fire it. And if you're not wearing proper eye protection, that can burn you, as well as the steam that comes off the gun as well could burn you and could damage your eyesight. Do not use a gun while drinking or around anybody who is or under the influence of any sort of controlled substance or substance in general, alcohol, if you're in a state that legally allows it, marijuana, um, any of those things. You should never ever touch a firearm while you're anywhere near those things, including even if it's just like one beer, you think it's something you can handle, you think it's that you have a higher tolerance than that. It's a very, very dangerous idea, and it could end up getting somebody hurt. Um, One of the other biggest points is to make sure that you never let anybody access your gun that is not fully trained and fully legally allowed to do so. The NRA recommends keeping your gun in a secure place. Some states actually require it. Uh, the NRA recommends a safe that only you know the code to so that nobody else can access it. Most of the gun deaths between 2000 and 2016 were actually occurred in people between the ages, most of the accidental gun deaths occurred between the ages of 0 and 19 because a child got a hold of their parents' firearm and ended up using it or playing with it thinking it was a toy and ended up getting hurt and sometimes killed. Another major part of not letting anybody access your gun that is not fully trained and fully legally allowed to do so is to make sure you never give your firearm to someone that has not gone through a thorough background check and all the legal processes required to get a gun. A lot of the shootings that have happened in recent years occurred because somebody that could not pass a background check or could not legally obtain a gun got a gun from somebody who was not careful enough with their weapon, whether that was just leaving it around or whether that was actually giving it to them or selling it to them, thinking that they knew the person and so it was okay, or that it was a stranger and they just didn't do a good enough check. If you are careful with these rules, it is completely safe to own and operate a firearm and completely legal as well. Thank you.